Can you hear me? Is my microphone working? Selena, can you guys hear me on this mic or do I have to switch mics? Cool. Welcome to my other site. This is my urban forest site. As you can see, this is my logo, Urban Forest. This is where we take the magic of nature into the city. Any places that we can find trees, parks, grass, anything that connects us to Mother Earth in the midst of all this chaos. This is a completely very different web site than my other one. Now, let me see. If I want to invite somebody, how the hell do I do that? Anybody have an idea? How do I find this thing where I can send you a link if you want to jump on? Let me see here. Love you shirt, by the way. Well, thank you, my little sister. Thank you, Heather. Still lovely and gorgeous. No, Heather, I'm not on StreamYard. I went directly on YouTube. So basically, this is what's happening. We're babysitting a dog who's extremely hyper. Her owner, I'm not going to go there. However, we're babysitting the dog. And the dog and my Lola, they love each other, but they're driving each other crazy. And they're fighting over toys. And they keep jumping on the couch. Yesterday, they landed right on my balls. So I just needed to get away from the living room, get away from the animals, just shut the door. And I came into the quiet space and I said, let me just go on and see who's here and what they're doing. And yeah, totally a love-hate relationship. They really, really love each other. When they first see each other, they go crazy for each other. But after 2 days, they just are over. Well, Lola's over her. She's not over Lola. And everything that Lola does, she does. Whatever Lola gets, she wants. So, yeah. And Sonny just doesn't have the patience for either one of them, which isn't too bad because they've learned already not to fuck with him because he just growls now and they move away. So they don't even bother with him because he's a little old man. But that's it. Hey, Tapestry, welcome. Yeah, so on YouTube, if I don't know how to invite people, if anybody, oh wait, you can't invite people on YouTube, right? This is the one where you have to use the phone app thing. You just can't, oh shit, that's right. Because this is the one I used with someone else. They used YouTube Live, but we had to use the app. All right, whatever. All right, and if anybody wants a card, a reading, please let me know. I'm just using the Straight Up Rider White Oracle, which I Tarot, which I tend to use when I do my urban forest. I love it because it looks so vintage. It's not, but it looks it, and I just because look at that. Isn't that pretty? It was cheap too. I think it was like $15 or something on Amazon. But I love the vintage look. It kind of grounds me. It just takes me like back to a day of old-fashioned tarot reading. And then for those of you who ever watch any of my monthly readings, you know that I usually have an oracle deck. And the oracle deck that I love, and this happened to be the very first oracle deck that I got. And I found it at Marshall, $5. And that is, Selena, you're going to love this one. The Moon. Okay? I know, Selena, you are a devotee of everything moon. So, yeah, the Moonology deck. I love this deck. For some reason, it just speaks to me. When I do my monthly readings, it's on target. It just, Spirit really says what it is and gives great messages. Yes, it is. And like I said, Marshall's $5. It was the very first. I had never in all the years that I read tarot, I had never, ever, ever used an oracle deck. You know, tarot just resonated with me. It fulfilled my needs. It got the message that I needed. So I was like, I don't need an oracle deck. Uh, and to tell you the truth, some of the oracle readers, no disrespect to anybody who just reads oracle, but back in the day, whenever I would see somebody reading oracle, it just felt like rainbows and and unicorns, and it was just like, really, like life can't always be that sweet. Like, what's up with that? Like life is real, and I'm not hearing real messages coming out. I just hear like sugarcoating stuff. So I never got into it because of that vibe. Um, but then when I saw this for $5, I said, you know what, $5 is pretty cheap. Let me get it. Um, and I tell you, I fell in love with it. And I have those of you who know me, I have several oracle decks. I have mermaid ones. I have dragons. I have animal ones. I have a great one that my friend Teresa and Essence, you would love this. Tapestry, I don't know if you're Latina, but Essence, definitely you'll love it because my friend made this, her and her daughter, and it's in English and Spanish. And it's a great oracle deck. She's Puerto Rican. She belongs to PRIDA, which is the Puerto Rican Artisan Association, something like that. That's the artisan one that she Mexican. Okay, cool. So she belongs to the same artisan association that my husband does. But she's a writer. She's a writer. She writes mystery novels. She writes some esoteric stuff, but she created her own oracle deck. And you know what? The next time I'm going to fish it out because I don't want to go dig into all my stuff right now. And I'm going to show you and maybe I'll try to do a flip through at some point on my other channel so you can see it. And she sells them at the artisan events. And I remember the very first time that I went to support my husband at one of these events, I was walking around and I kept getting drawn to this lady, drawn to this lady. I was like, damn, what is this energy that just like, it really felt like, when somebody casts this, like they're going fishing and they cast the hook and it reels them in. That's what I felt every time I walked by, like there was this invisible line pulling me in. Hey, Cosmic, I saw you read my email. We'll talk about that. So I felt like this energy was pulling me in. And when I walked over, I saw she had these oracle decks. I was like, oh. And she's like, yeah, I made these. I came, through my meditations, my dreams, all the content. And then my daughter's an artist who lives in Texas, so she designed them. And she was selling them for like $20. And I was like, here you go, And I bought them. And then when I got home, I went through them. And they were really, really cool. So next, I might do a flip through. And then if you guys are interested, I'll try to get her information so you guys can reach out to her directly. If you want to buy one that's bilingual. Yeah, $20. Mm-hmm. You know what? I gotta find out. I gotta take a look if she does have an Etsy or shop. But I can always. She's also on my Facebook. But I'll reach out to her. I have her in contact information, her email on my other computer because this computer that I'm using here, it doesn't. It has all my other profile information, but it doesn't have Urban Forest because usually when I do my Urban Forest, I do those videos on my cell phone and then just record it. This is the first time I think I've gone live with it, with Urban Forest. And it was just basically because, like I said, these dogs were driving me fucking crazy today. By the way, for those of you who, when you see me outside of that other persona, and you see this persona, Urban Forest tends to fucking talk like a Bronx boy. Okay, like this is real Bronx. So if you never really heard me talk, uh, this is what Bronx accent sounds like. And Cosmic will tell you I tend to curse sometimes a lot when I'm not wearing everything else. All right. Uh, Selena, right? She loves all my persona. So I called you today, Selena. I called you. You didn't pick up. So you must have been like either busy doing schoolwork or having sex. I don't know, one or the other. But you didn't pick up. And I know it's only those two things that would keep you from not picking up when I call. But um, see, Shiro, I was in the middle of a past life sex session. Okay, there she goes. 4 hour long session. Wow, that's a lot of sex, Lena. Good for you, man. It's good to be young. You have that kind of vitality. Uh, so today I was doing um, Tapestry. You ain't too far off. There's a lot of vibes going on today. So today I was doing magical work and I was putting all my kits together. So I was gonna have you kind of hang out with me, Selena, while I was doing that and send your magic over. Um, I made about 20 kits, um, and I guess I'm just gonna wait. And I have 10 that are already spoken for, and then I made extras. um, this way, you know, there's different people that I like to meet and hang out with and get to know. And if I like their energy, I like to give them stuff. So, but if you know of anyone that you think like, hey, they really, really deserve a kit, and they would get a lot out of it, just shoot me up, send me an email, ask them if I could have their email, and I'll mail them, their address, and I'll mail it to them. So let's see what you guys are talking about here. All right. Selena, she said, no sex. I wish that was 10 years ago, that energy. Uh, Tapestry, she's like kisses or blushing, one or the other. Yes, magical work. Um, and okay, Heather, she digs the Florida water, right? Isn't that amazing? Okay, I got to tell you something about that. All right. So first of all, I think I told you the black salt. That shit works. It's strong, powerful stuff. And there's this bitch at my job. Really, I don't know if I've told you about her, but she drama. And a couple of months ago, about 6 months ago, she started some shit, and it could have gotten me. Thank God I got good people who love me and look out for me, right? So she went to HR and she filed a complaint against me, and she said all this stuff. And like in any company, there's people that, look out for each other. So when I went to HR, I was like, because she was so rude during the meeting, and they're like, oh yeah, so and so already contacted us, and they basically said that. And I was like, well, that's not what happened at all. And I said, there were 6 other people in the room. Are you going to reach out to them and find out what happened? Oh, no, we don't need to do that. So I'm like, so you're basically taking the word of someone else against me. Okay, gotcha. I know where this is going. Well, thank God my VP called everyone who was in that room, and she got the right story. Because the allegation that was put against me, it could have resulted in me losing my job, and I would have lost my health benefits. And that, oh my God, I was like, you know what? That I will never forgive. She knows I got cancer. She knows I'm coming to work just to keep my health benefits. And she did that. And I could have lost my medical benefits. Like, to me, that's fucking evil, right? Got it. So what I did was, because unfortunately I still have to work with her, so now I put the black salt in the doorway of my office, and she can't cross that threshold. She tried one day to kind of come in and she gets stuck. It's like she gets stuck. Her feet get stuck to the floor, like she can't. And she ends up talking to me through the doorway, the open doorway, but she can't come in my office. And I'm like, see, that's some powerful magic. So now every Friday, I put the salt down because the cleaning ladies, they think it's dirt, so they vacuum it. So I keep putting the salt. I do my prayer for it. Um, I have my personal sage spray, so that shit works. But then I went to that because Heather, you were talking about the Florida water. So one of my dearest friends, and you know, like I would past lives, right? Selena, you know about this stuff more than I do. So I believe in past lives, but I never really, really got into it until I got into it when I got my old style tarot deck a couple of months ago. I love, love, love that tarot deck. Okay, and when I got that tarot deck, I took it out and I cleansed it and I went to shuffle it, and I had like this deja vu feeling, like it knocked me back, right? Like intensity, and I literally had like this vision of being I hate to use I shouldn't use the word gypsy. I just can't think of the other word for it right now. But during the Middle Ages, and sitting on the side of the road but with my wagon and everything, reading. So I was like, Dad, I've never ever had that kind of feeling, and I said, huh, I bet you that's a past life. This is what I hear other people talking about. This was a past life. So I really believe. So whenever I read with that deck, I mean, I have other decks. You guys know that, my purple decks and this, and that, which I love. But this deck, there's something about the artwork that just takes me there. See, you love it too? Bitch be gone spray. And yeah, she's let me tell you. And you know what it is too about this tap? Not only she practices Santeria, and her wife is a Santera who's in a high level Santera. Okay, so they practice shit, So I'm like, nope. And before I got sick, because there was stuff going on, I actually put together a spell jar to so that if she was doing any kind of work against me, it would go right back to her. I put together a good, strong witch's jar, okay, to repel any kind of curses or hex to go back against her. And when I came back from medical, that jar cracked. So I'm like, something was going on, Something was going on, because there was no reason for that jar to just break. It was in a back cupboard, tied, covered. So why did it just, So that was some stuff. Cosmic, you leaving? What's he saying over here? Where is he? He left? Got a jet, peace and love. All right. See, Cosmic doesn't like to hear me talk. He only likes to hear himself talk. It's okay, Cosmic. I love you too. And I missed you Friday. I went to log on, but you were gone. Hey, Janet Lee, welcome. So back to I go all the way around. Back to the Florida water. So yesterday, I don't know if you guys know, a dear friend of mine, she's dying. She's dying. And yesterday, we all went over because her birthday's in August. So we went to celebrate her birthday yesterday. Because she's definitely not going to make it till August. So, we have a strong spiritual community, and we're going with her through her transition to her next life. But when I got home, oh my God. Guys, I felt like I was wearing 100 pounds of clothing on top of me. Like I could barely walk into the house. Like it was so heavy. Hey, Elizabeth, it was so heavy, like and mucky, right? And one of my other friends did some Reiki healing and Reiki, and then as she was cleaning, she kept throwing it out. And my luck, I was stuck behind her, so I almost felt like that she whatever she was taking out of her, she kept throwing onto me, whatever. But when I walked into the house, I told my husband, don't talk to me, don't touch me, don't kiss me. I went right into the shower. I took my Florida water, I put it into my rag with my soap, and I did a whole cleansing, scrub, 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 scrub. And like Bobby says, you got to visualize all that washing out of you and going down the drain. So I was doing that. And let me tell you, not only did I smell good when I came out, but I felt like 100 pounds lighter. My headache went away. And I was like, damn, I picked up some shit, you know? But yeah, so that Florida water, for those of you who have it, uh, use it. You could use it definitely for your baths. You could use it for cleansing your altar spaces, your ritual tools, but use it, man. Don't, you know. And if, thank you. Thank you, Heather. Heather's like, it smells wonderful. Don't spritz it. Use it. If you guys run out, maybe I'll make some more in the fall. I'll make a whole other batch, you know, because if I could, I don't want to make a lot. I don't want to make it and just store it here, you know, because then what's the point? But if people are actually going to use it, I will make more and send it to them. You know, because the way I see it is, when I do ritual and give it away, somehow I'm maturing and developing my own magic, my own power, my own spirituality gets more and more potent and stronger. So for me to do these crafts and makings to give away, it actually serves a personal purpose in me because it just makes me stronger. Yep. That is not so. Oh, I sprayed a bottle. Okay, glorious all around my space, and then the new apartment. Yes, yeah. You know, it's also good. You know, like I said, you could use it to anoint yourself. You could use it like put it in your shower, do it things like that. Uh, I remember the old Spanish ladies used to at my other job where I used to work because we're in the Bronx, so you know this is part of Bronx culture, having folk magic. And so the Spanish cleaning ladies, they would actually bring in Florida water and put it into the mop buckets to clean the program. You know, because you know a lot of our clients, uh, you know, they had mental health issues and you know they had medical issues. So for them, they really used it to spiritually clean the program for them. So yeah, so putting your yep, not border exactly. Oh, look, okay. One of the most handsomest man in YouTube community is just logged in. I think this is the first time he's ever logged into me, and that is Wild Raven Terror, Mr. Bobby himself. Now I freaking wish that I was on SteamYard just so I could throw out some links and get some people live. I'm gonna have to do that. But this is kind of cool. Like I said, this is the first time that Urban Forest is going live. Um, and Tap, yeah, there's some similarities, but I think you're gonna see a lot of differences between this persona and the other persona, and both personas are me. Um, I know some of you guys are currently doing you did the Divine Feminine, now you're doing Divine Masculine. And I really feel the two personas that I embody are totally an integration of the divine masculine and divine feminine. And what I love about it, and I think both personas are real, both personas are me, and they both bring out a special quality in me. Um, One side is very nurturing, caring, fun loving, likes to make people feel very good, accepted, cared about. And then this side tends to be a little bit more straightforward, no shit. Uh, you know, and this is the side that when this side does readings, I mean, both sides do authentic readings, but for some reason, this side, the readings tend to be clear cut, no sugarcoat. It is what it is. Uh, and if you don't want to hear it, then don't stay for the reading and don't ask for the reading. But urban forest, I guess maybe because we are more Bronxy here. Yep, both are wise. Exactly. By the way, Elizabeth, I really, really miss. Um, I really miss your. What do you call that thing? Shoot, my brain's not good. Your fire pit. There, I missed that. I really, 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 and I know Ange took a sabbatical, but maybe you can pair up with another strong person, a magically strong person, and do it again. Um, your full moon fire pits. I know it's a lot of work and they take a lot out of you, um, but that's very unique. That's something I don't see on YouTube. And I love it because when you were doing them, they were very powerful. Um, yep. Selena, yeah, weren't they amazing? Um, and one of the things if you look at when you're making the black salt, one of the things that Miss Tarity talks about is if you're doing rituals like that, where you have a fire pit and you're burning intentions or things that you want to get out and expel, to save those ashes from those fire pits. So I think so. When she was talking about that, I was thinking about you and said, "Damn, I wish I had some of that charcoal right now because that would have been some strong mojo to put into those black salt." And I think all of us who make black salt would, if you ever do that, save it, mail it to us in a little envelope just so we can add it into our black salts. I'm sure Bobby and Selena and Tapestry. What's your name? I know you. Selena said it before, but if you don't want to tell me, that's fine. But I think you do magic too, so yeah. But I think a bunch of us would like some of that fire pit ash when you ever do that ritual again for our rituals because it's very potent. All right, let's see. Who wants a reading? Anybody want a reading? And if you want a reading, just put either big letters, Oracle or Tarot. And if you want a general, okay. Selena, general or you have a specific question? My little sister, Selena. Bobby, this is the general, okay. Tarot or Oracle? Bobby, this is the first time that Urban Forest came live. But if I ever do another live one, definitely me and you will hook up. I want a tarot reader from my ancestors. Your choice. Okay, so let me do Selena, and I'm gonna, because she is a moon sister, I'm gonna use the Moonology, and then I'll do Bobby. You want tarot for your ancestors. All right. Look at the bigger picture. Full moon and Sagittarius. The big thing right now is that because you are doing so many things in your life that it's hard to see the forest through all the trees. And sometimes you don't know what's happening because you're focusing a little bit on this, focus a little about this, focusing a little about that, and it can feel overwhelming. And sometimes, even though normally you feel like it's all very important, sometimes that question of why am I doing this anyway? So Spirit is basically talking to you and saying, you know what? Deep breath, step back, look at the bigger picture, and see. And once you step back and you look at the bigger picture, you're going to be able to connect the dots a little bit more and really understand what's happening and why you are doing all of this thing. Because there is more to what you think is happening right here, right now. Okay. You have yet to discover your true purpose. You think you know why you're doing this, but what you're going to really find out is that why you think you're doing these things are really short-term goals, and later on, when you see the bigger picture, that's your long-term goals. That's the prize at the end, and it's going to be completely different than what you thought it was. And when you get there, it's going to blow your mind because you never expected that to happen. All righty, let's look at Bobby. What are you saying over here? She's like, I wish our third was here. Oh, Mr. Ramon. Mr. Ramon. You know that Mr. Ramon don't pick up his phone. I call him, but you know, he don't pick up, but that's okay. It's okay. Let's see Bobby. Mr. handsomest man in the room, Mr. Bobby. Bobby wants a reading from his ancestors. Spirit guides and sisters. What message does Bobby really need to hear? Hey, Bobby. So you got the Ace of Swords in reverse, the Seven of Wands in reverse, and the Three of Pentacles. All right. It seems like you're struggling to get something off the ground. Okay, and you're starting to. Part of it is because people are getting in your head about they're filling you in with negativity, and while normally you can basically brush it off, you're are you allowing this negativity to sink into your head? Is it causing a sense of self-sabotage? Because it almost feels like you do want to do something new, something different, something creative, but yet there's this self-sabotaging that's going on, and where normally you can actually brush it off and keep moving forward and doing what you want. Right now, it feels like you're kind of stuck and you're just not being able to move forward. However, what's coming forward towards you is that you are going to get help from the community. You are going to have people come towards you and support you in this. And they're going to give you the tools that maybe you feel you don't have right now. So one thing to know is that while you're struggling during this whole process, okay, moving forward, help is on its way. Just be open to it when it comes your way. Okay, don't fight it. Don't poo-poo it. And I have a feeling that the help that's coming your way is going to be from a very unexpected place or person. It's not going to be from where you normally get your support, your assistance, your advice. This is going to be something very new, something very different. And when it happens, it's going to be like, oh, I didn't expect that, but it makes sense. All right? Let your ancestors talk when they talk. All right, who do we got here? We saw a tree that I have a story. Okay. The more intuitive me. I have a story, and I had a tree that was dead for many, many months. We ripped it out, and the boys thought it would be funny to put it in the fire pit. And the true Lord of the flies, and the tree started to grow. Holy shit, really? Wow. Oh, you got to take a picture. You got to do a live on that. You got to show us. So the tree started to grow in the fire pit. Wow. Huh. That says something, you know? I love that story. I'm glad you shared it. Bobby, I just did you. I hope it was good. Did you like it? Did you? There you go. Yeah. So you're struggling in a way that you want with teaching. All right. So maybe you're struggling because you weren't meant to do it alone. Maybe that's what's happening. Is that you know this partnership that's coming is what's going to help you move forward with it. Just be open, bro. Just be open. When it happens, you're gonna know when it's time. You know. Um, Heather, did I see your question? I, I wish my friend Ben was here. Do you guys know Ben from Beneficial Tarot? He's from England. He's freaking adorable. And whenever I talk, he said he cracks up. He likes my Bronx accent. Uh, let me see here, Heather. I don't see you. Let me see. Okay, either Oracle Tarot. Reading on the home front, please. I don't know. Okay. What does that mean? I don't understand what that means. The home front? Heather, help me out. What does that mean? Home front. Like what's happening around you currently? Selena knows Ben. See, he is a sweetheart. He is adorable. Heather, come on. Tell me what that means. The home front. That's okay. All right. Okay. All right. Energy in your home. All right. Heather, you got a 6 of wands, judgment in reverse, and the 2 of coins. So you know all these cards, right? You know what they mean. And it seems like you came from a position of success and prosperity, where now it just seems like there's some things just aren't going in your way. And it's very frustrating because it almost feels like the positive road that you were on is having some glitches. There's some new challenges, okay? You were hoping for a whole new beginning, a whole new adventure, but now sometimes it's just you're dealing with some system, some agency, some people that almost feels like, damn, I'm dealing with the same assholes that I was dealing with back in New York, which is now creating, yeah, and which is creating you, bringing you to a point where things were stabilized and moving forward. Where now, because things are not going the way they should, um, there's also some people who aren't doing their jobs, let's put it that way, which is creating some difficulties for you emotionally because it's like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? Like, why are they so stupid? You know, why can't get this stuff right? And they're just messing things up for you, right? It's putting you in a position where now you have to start balancing things for in your personal life, finances especially. Okay, that's why you're juggling. The juggling. I mean, you know, there's this whole thing. It's like, okay, now I got to figure this all out. Things don't feel steady anymore. Things are getting a little bit more complicated, and I got to figure out how am I going to pay for this? How am I going to do that? How do I move forward? Um, you know, do I want to be with this person or not? Or do I need to change some things in my life? So Heather, I hope that works. I hope that makes sense. Energy surround my home. Thank you. Will you be selling your shirts, Madalena? No, no, no. But you, no, no. And then, yes, okay. This isn't an original. I wish I had been an original, but I was able. There's no copyright on it, so I was like, "Fuck it, just use it," because it fits. Um, I wish I had thought of this, but when I saw it, it just had my name on it. Okay, let me check the chat here. Bobby, I want to teach Thoth Terra. Nobody wants to learn because it's too deep or too scary. I've put it aside and I'm going to teach a 22 card spread course. I've been working on it for a while. All right. You know what, Bobby? Here's the deal. You just keep putting it out there, and eventually, people who are interested will come along. I was having this. I wish Cosmic stayed on because we were talking about his new channel, and Cosmic is really deep. He's smart. He's deep, and he's like, "Well, I don't think people are bored. People are bored. They don't like it." I was like, "No, just the opposite. You know, the right people who want to learn your style or your information will come. And even if you have two people, you're helping two people out. So, Bobby, it's the same thing. Like, keep putting it out there, and the people who do want to learn Talk Tara will sign on, and they will appreciate it because you're going to probably be one of the only few people out there offering that kind of information. So, don't give up. Um, put it out there, and eventually, the students will come. You're a freaking brilliant man, People should be blessed to learn from you. If you build it, they will come, Bobby. That's right. That's right. Wasn't that from wasn't that from that movie? What was it? The Sandlot? Was that the name of that movie back in the 80s? Something like that? Where they were like baseball players, right? If you build it, they will come. Yes, Elizabeth Hart. If you build it, they will come. Janet, my hands are sweating and I'm nervous. Does that count, Bobby? I don't know. Ooh, what's Janet and Bobby doing over there? Huh? Why is her Bobby? Why is Janet's hands so sweaty? What you doing to that poor woman? Field of Dreams. Thank you, thank you. That would have because I knew it was in the Sandlot, and I wouldn't have fallen asleep tonight because it would have been in my brain, trying to figure out what the movie was. Thank you. He is brilliant. I look up to him. Yes, totally. He is brilliant. I love his readings. They're very deep. Baseball, Field of Dreams, John Lee, Bobby. Okay, so who's up for a reading? I did Selena, I did Bobby, I did Heather. Anybody? Anybody want to read? Or we could just keep chit-chatting. We could keep chit-chatting. Me. Okay, Tab. General, specific question, or do you want Oracle and Tarot or Tarot? Tapestry, which one is it? What do you prefer? For you? You know I'm preferring the Oracle cards. And is your name Layla? Okay, Layla. Layla, you're getting a stronger connection with the moon itself, aren't you? You're starting to do a lot more work with the moon phases. It's very, very strong. You're being called to do some very strong magical work. Very strong ritual. Very powerful. Uh-huh. Yep. Okay. So we have, what do you need to release? Nothing will come with the situation, working through your fears. Okay. It almost feels like you're kind of struggling with a particular situation at the moment in your life. And for some reason, you haven't been able to let it go, even though you know it's not really going to serve you. It's not adding to your life. But you have some kind of attachment to it. Okay. You have an attachment to it. And if this was tarot cards, I would tell you to almost imagine the devil card, okay? Where you know the situation you're in is not good for you, but at the same, and you could break free anytime you want, right? Because in the devil card, the chains are loose, but for some reason you're just struggling, resistant to letting it go, right? For whatever reason that is, and you know that reason. Okay, you know that particular reason. It's a very, very personal reason why you're staying in that situation. Okay, it's very personal. Um, but then comes this work through your fears. New Moon is Scorpio, and the whole reason why it's hard fear. So you have to work through that fear in order to get to this place in your, not life, in your soul, okay, where you can finally say, I need to let that go. That is no longer serving me. It's it's very personal. It has to do with past relationships. I'll tell you that much. And I think you know what I'm talking about, and whatever that was back there, and how it's impacted your current situation and your future. But there's shadow work that needs to be done. There's a lot of shadow work that needs to be done for you to, you know, get through it and move. And that's why it's telling you work through that fear. All right. I keep seeing, for some reason, I keep seeing you howling at the moon. That's the vision I'm getting. I almost see you like all in white outside at a full moon, and you're howling at the moon. But you're howling, and that's the image. It doesn't mean you're literally going to be like, "Oh," but it's almost like you're going to be in a ritual where you are communicating with the moon goddess. You are going to be communicating with the moon goddess, surrendering. And in surrendering, the spirit of the moon is going to fill you with the strength and the power that you need to move forward with this. I have no idea what that means for you. It's just, you know how we do when we read, Spirit just keeps giving us more and more information, and just opens up and gives us little visions and clips to share with you, just so that you know what Spirit is trying to tell you. Okay, she said yes. Oh. You know, Bobby, fuck you. Here I am doing spiritual readings, and you're looking at the color of my walls. You know, we're getting deep, Bobby. We're getting deep, and you're like, oh, I love the paint on your walls. Great paint. Thank you, Bobby. Man, I love you, man. I wish you lived next to me. We would have a blast. We would have a blast, me and you, Bobby. Uh, Layla, yeah, she said yes. Thank you. And you're laughing. Mm-hmm. Howling at the moon to release. Yes. Uh, surrendering to the goddess is surrendering to the natural cycle. Yeah. Uh, Bobby, blessing Urban and everyone in chat. Hey, Fatima. Ciao, Bella. All right. Uh, Who was next? It was. Is it you, Elizabeth? Elizabeth, you're next. I, if you are and you put in what you wanted, it's probably all the way up on the chat, and there's no way I'm going to find it right now. So help me out, girl. What are we doing? Oh, it's Janet. Janet's next. All right. Janet was on. Okay, sorry. Janet, Oracle or Tarot? You know what? I'm going to make the choice for you. We're going to do Tarot. Hey, Janet, you're surrounded by old spirits, right? You're surrounded by some very, very old spirits. And you've seen them. You've seen them. You've gotten glimpses out of the corner of your eye, and you see them, and I almost see them like wearing Western type clothing. Like they're not old from Europe, they're old here in the States. And I see them almost like wearing like, back in the Western time, whatever those people, how they dressed. That's how they're dressed, and you kind of see them out of the corner of your eye sometimes moving around your house. I see a man and I see a woman. Okay. But it's nothing bad. They're not evil. They're just sharing space with you. They're sharing space with you because it was their land before you moved there. And they like you, so they don't have a problem with you. They're just sharing space. But because it is their land that you're living on, they will protect their land. So if you ever feel any kind of negativity or even worldly people who are trying to bring harm to your home, call upon these two spirits because they protect your own property. Okay. Do you ever see like the Westerns back in the day when the cowboy and his wife would come out with their rifles and they'd stand on their property and they're like, "Don't you dare come on my property." That's how they are. That's how they are with their land. So they will protect you and your home. Yeah. See, yes, in your yard and in your house. Yes. And they get to say, "Yep, yep." Bye, Heather. You're out of here. We'll talk later. Holy cow. Okay. This is so bizarre. We're live. So you guys were seeing me shuffle, 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 right? And I think I did another reading with this since Heather's. You're not going to believe the same 3 cards that I pulled for Heather just popped up. Okay? In the same format. So we got a Judgment in reverse, and then we have the 7 and the 2 upright. Okay? All right. Janet, seems like there was an opportunity for growth and change, and somehow it just felt like you weren't ready for it and you weren't able to make that move. In the recent past, right? And it almost felt like a missed opportunity for you to move forward in life or to move forward with something new. Okay. However, you're going to get a second up. You're going to get a second chance to take it. You're going to have a second chance to take advantage of these new opportunities that are going to be more successful for you. So whatever that was in the past that you felt like, damn it, I missed the boat. Damn it, I should have did it. Why didn't I do this? I should have done it this way. Why did I stay in my old mindset, my old fears, my own mental jail that I was too afraid to do anything? Now you're going to feel like, hey, you know what? I'm ready for it. I'm strong enough. I can do this. I can accomplish it. I feel like I can actually do better at this point in time, and I can really take advantage of it. And by doing that, though, it's going to put you in a position where you are going to have to start checking out your work life balance. Okay, you are going to have to start looking at that because while you're ready to make those moves, are you being asked to do something? I don't know. I'm seeing something in regards to money, more or less financial, or I see you in a situation of moving from one position to a higher position. So I don't know if you're planning to study something new to move up, or if you're looking to get a promotion, or you're looking just to elevate yourself where you are. But it feels like that's going to start coming. So where maybe in the past it didn't, it is going to start moving towards that now, where you are going to be able to move forward and up. And but however, what in doing so, you are going to have to look at your work-life balance, um, and kind of juggle that out a little bit more. Maybe this whatever position or whatever new changes in your life that are coming your way. Um, yes, whatever is new situation is coming your way is going to kind of ask you to reevaluate your life, um, more your concrete things, not your overall, uh, and start prioritizing what you really need to focus on and what can wait, and how you're going to restructure and reorganize your daily living stuff just so that you can take advantage of this next level of development, if that word rings. So she wrote, yes, I was a bit delayed, but there's been doing effective shadow. There you go, girl. Yeah. Let us know if this rings. Awesome. I couldn't move because of fear. This next level has been delayed. All right. It looks like whatever was holding you back is going to change now. It feels like you're at a stronger place. A stronger place. And things are going to move. Yeah, Janet, you got this. You got a lot of powerful people around here. Um, Fatima, do you want a reading? Let's see. Let me see here. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up, guys. Yeah. And like I said, we can either read, we can bullshit, you know. Um, is Yes, thank you. All right, Fatima. I've always wanted to read for Fatima. If I'd known you were coming on, Fatima, I would have. This was just like very impulsive, impromptu. I had to get away from the dogs. I had to clear my head. So I said, let me go do something different. But Fatima, I don't know if you know this. Uh, so I've been working a lot with Mary Grace. She's the one who wrote Italian folk magic. And a big part of Italian folk magic is working with saints. So one of the things that I've got is I got a deck of saint cards. And as you know, Fatima, different saints are for different, you can call on different saints for different things, right? Like St. Anthony, you know, to help you find lost items, St. Francis for the environment and also for nature, working with nature. So there's a lot. And if I had known you were coming on, I would have brought out my deck of saint cards, and read for you with those because I would love to do that with you one day. Mhm. So Fatima, we have the moon in reverse, the devil in reverse, and then the three of pentacles. It almost feels like there's someone there that's still struggling with something, and Part of it is because they're not ready to see things for what they really are. Okay? They're really not ready. They're not ready. They're kind of like staying in their own shadow. They're not really ready to face the music, so to say, and really look at what's going on in their lives. And because of that, they're still struggling with some negative behaviors. Part of it is that they're blaming everyone else for their behaviors and their actions, except and not taking accountability and responsibility. Okay? It seems like this person and the situation that they're going through, they're not going to be able to fix it on their own, but they're going to have to actually get outside help for it. Okay? I'm seeing the moon so always brings to mind for me mental health issues. Okay? So it almost feels like this person is going through some mental health issues that, and like I said, they're just struggling. They want to get out of it, but they just can't seem, yeah, they just can't seem to do it on their own. Um, and it is going to require some outside help uh, to help them move forward and to help them deal with this. And going through. Mhm. Yeah, we never try to do medical readings and things like that. However, in this situation, it almost feels like a second opinion is needed. Okay? Because it almost feels like whatever was told to you first, or whatever information you got, you might have not been ready to hear, or this person, whoever it is, wasn't ready to hear it. Uh, and maybe they need a second opinion before it sinks in to their head. And they take advantage of that information or move forward with that information. Okay, good luck with that one. Oof. How we doing here? I love her in the book. Oh yeah, she's great. Oh, by the way, Selena. So her and I have been chit chatting, and one day, I told her, I said, "Listen, love to do a live with you. Love to collab." And she was like, "I would love that." So I'm hoping maybe in the fall winter season when things kind of have some space in my life for it, her and I can hook up and we could do it live. I would love, love, love to chat with her. Um, Her family's she's from Canada. I forgot where, but I don't remember where. But she grew up in a very Italian community. Her family migrated from Italy to Canada. My family migrated from Italy to New York City, to Little Italy in the Bronx. But our growing up experiences are so identical, like with the community and the people in the community who practice magic, folk magic, how it's part of your everyday. I think we kind of talked about a little bit too, because it's so similar to the Mexican culture, how folk magic is a part of our everyday life. Everything we do, it's not something different, it's not something unique. It's what we grew up with. It's not unfamiliar for us. So her and I figured it'd be great to talk to her about it, and just what she went through, what I went through, um, how we practice folk magic now in our lives. Um, you know, Her channel is great. If any of you haven't subscribed to it yet, let me know. I'll send you links. She's a really, really cool person, and she's a nurse. I was trying to reach out to Ange because Ange, as we all know, is in Canada. Ange has worked in the medical field. Ange is magic, so I thought like these two women would totally be compatible and they would just get along so well. Yeah, but looking forward to really meeting up with her and doing a collab together. Yeah, okay. See, yeah, right? It's amazing how the cultures are so similar because you resonated with it and I resonated with it. When I hear Bobby talking about growing up in a household full of practitioners, I totally get that. That totally makes sense to me because, you know, everybody that I grew up with, there was always people who practiced everything. I remember my little brother when he was an infant, and my God, he was like colicky, where you couldn't stop crying, 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 high fevers, whatever. And his godmother is actually Nazingara. That's what we called him, Nazingara. Um, don't use the word strega. That's just so you guys know. It's kind of used here in the States. Oh, I practice stregania, strega. That's kind of, if you ever talk to a real Italian, like from Europe, the word strega means witch, but it's a negative connotation of a witch. Um, so just here in the States, it's kind of cool with that though. Um, However, his godmother was a natural Zingara and she did magic. And my mother called her and she was on the phone and she basically was like, yeah, he's got Malocchio. And she did the ritual. And as soon as she finished the ritual and my mother hung up, boom, my little brother stopped crying, the fever was gone, boom, everything went back to normal. So, yeah, it's really interesting. So I want to talk to Mary Grace about that, because she talks about it too. Oh, thank you, Selena, for posting a link. Okay. Literally, so you've been to her channel. Yeah, right? She's really cool, down to earth. Magic is my jam. Yes, right? Yeah, please, yeah, sub to her. And if you write to her, say, hey, Miss Tarity recommended, because this way she feels the love. She knows I love her, but it's good that she feels the love. And like I said, if I really really like her book. I found another book written by another Italian practitioner, also from Canada. Yeah, it wasn't all that. It wasn't all that. It felt like chapter 1 and 2 were just repeated over and over again, just slightly different language. But it was so repetitious. I was like, really? Like, I'm bored. And I just kept flipping through it. Like, you know, it was all right. I like Mary Grace's stuff. Her stuff is good. And she's coming out with a second book. Um, it's You can pre-order it now. It's coming out in November. If anybody's interested in her book and financially you can't afford it, listen, let me know. I have no problem with gifting her books to people just because I love her stuff and it's really great stuff. And if it helps in your own spiritual development, why not? All right, hubby was freed from stuttering by a bird. Look at that, see? Yeah. Selena's fast. Selena, you are a fast mod. Wow. She's like, yep, here it is. Here's the link. Here we go. Wow. I thought Maruta was fast. Put that there. And let me just put you guys here just so that you can help me add stuff as needed, if you don't mind. There you go. All right. Add you two. All right. I just put you guys as mods because maybe, in the future. So this is just so y'all know, this is my retirement channel. Okay. When I'm ready to retire, probably my other channel I'm going to be putting in hiatus and really focusing on this one. Just because the older I get, it's harder to do that other persona. It's harder and harder. especially with my medical issues. Uh, I don't know if you guys knew. I used to. You see, I wear glasses, and I used to wear contacts to do my other channel. And then what happened was with the chemo, um, I started getting all in here was all infected, and it got all infected, and I couldn't put on the makeup. I couldn't do the eyelashes, so that's when I had to start wearing my other gla- glasses, so I could have these underneath and then put the other ones on top, so I could see. But as I get older, it gets harder and harder. So at some point, that other channel is going to be kind of, you know, put on the side, just come out for special events, maybe just for Bobby's birthday, so I can hassle him and focus more on this channel. This channel is a little easier to just pop in, do things, jump on your lives when you want, real quick and easy. I know last night Bobby was on with Sherry, and if I wasn't tired, I would have actually came here and just come on live with this channel. But I was so tired. Bobby, I don't know if you were here when I was talking earlier, but one of my friends is transitioning to her next afterlife. She's in hospice. So when I got home, yes, I was all day with her, and then when I got home last night, I was just done, wiped out, as you can imagine. So when I saw you and Sherry, I was just there for a couple of minutes just to kind of clear my head out because I needed some laughs and something different to focus on before I went to bed because I just didn't want to take that heavy stuff to bed with me. Uh, yeah, yeah, right. Like fucking Bobby. Bobby wrote, okay, I'm not camera ready. No T-Fed. Must make you very popular at the glory hole, Bobby. Jesus, don't get me going down that road, Bobby. Yeah, I'm trying to behave on this channel, man. It's the other persona that's got the dirty mouth, but this one too. Oh man, I feel the love today, man. You guys have really came in and shown some love and some support. I needed this. I really needed this. Those dogs are great. I love my dog. We have three dogs in this house, and they're beautiful and they're great, but they're just getting a little on my nerves. Mhm. Uh, Thank you, Celine. I love you guys too. And my friend's dog, she's a beautiful little dog. She really is. It's funny because she's 8 months, but she's twice the size of my Lola, who's a year old. And she's a Chihuahua Porgy mix, something like that. So she's double the size. And she's so loving, but she jumps a lot. She jumps a lot. She's very friendly. And yesterday, Bobby, she jumped right on my nuts. I was like, oh, the stars. The stars when she did that. I was in so much pain. And you can't yell at a dog. And you never, ever, ever hit a dog. Never. They don't know. They're just playing. Um, but what's happening too is Lola is getting a little oh nuts. Lola's getting a little jealous. So the dog was on my Moxie's her name. She was on my lap, and Lola came and climbed up to my chest, almost like to show dominance. And then she started growling at Moxie, like this is my person. Get out of here. So I had to take Lola and put her on the floor to discipline her because you can't have her start, becoming territorial because first they become territorial against other animals and then they become territorial against people. And that's when you get those really, really bad chihuahuas that start growling and trying to bite people just because they want to protect you because you're their person. And I ain't having that. I've never had a dog that was territorial like that, and I'm not gonna have one now. Yeah, right. Got to redirect her. Nah, Bobby, that don't work with me. Whatever Lola wants, Lola gets. It's whatever Daddy wants, Daddy gets. Yeah, you know. But you know, I have like this sound thing that you use for training. It doesn't really hurt them, but it just kind of like whatever. So whenever she does that, you could just hit the noise. It's almost like a dog whistle, but it's electronic. And then once she stops that behavior, I always have a thing of treats, and she gets them. She gets a treat. By the way, and you heard me talk about this on my other channel, Joey, Joey, the Vale Cottage Witch. She makes these things called sweet pea, and they're little treats for dogs. Okay. Oh, let me tell you, they are amazing. They're like crack for animals, and they have like all these. Bobby, you spoke them up. Bobby, you spoke them up. It's the big Ramon. Um, but they have like all these kind of herbs and things in there, and they help with anxiety for the animals. And let me tell you, it works because sometimes when Lola gets a little too much, a little too feisty, I'll give her one or two of them, and it seems to calm her down. So I don't know, you know. So, but Joey's got some good stuff, man, on her website. That stuff, especially for the animals. Let me tell you, those sweet peas are great. What's up, Ramon? Uh, Bobby was talking about you. He said, "Where's my third? We need our third." And look at that. He talked you up, and here you are. Yeah. Yeah, Selena, really talk to Joey about that. That stuff works, and it wasn't expensive either. I think Bobby, I don't know if you sell that with her, but so you might know off the top of your head. I think it was only what the most $7. I in my mind, I remember when I saw it, it wasn't that expensive when I bought it. It was pretty cheap. It's a good sized bag, and it's freshly made. Um, so what's up, Ramon? How's everything? He's been kind of busy with his job and doing. Yeah, I think yes, the Veiled Cottage Witch. There you go. Yeah, I gotta ask her. I wonder if people can. I mean, you know, I have gummies now. Uh, so when I got sick, I never smoked weed. Well, I did. But when I quit smoking cigarettes, I would not smoke weed because I'm always afraid that if I smoke a joint or a blunt, I'm gonna want a cigarette, and I don't want to go back to cigarettes because I was a heavy cigarette smoker. Which is crazy because when they told me I had cancer, I thought I had lung cancer, and they said, "Nope, your lungs are fine, perfectly good. You have blood cancer. Does smoking cause blood cancer? Nope, we don't know." So it had nothing to do with smoking. Crazy, right? But I don't want to go back to smoking. Um, so I asked. They sent me to shit. What's that? The palliative care doctor. Okay. And I said, "Listen, can I get the medical marijuana card?" And she's like, "Oh, I don't believe in that. I'm going to give you a prescription for it was either methadone or morphine." I looked at her, and I was like, in my mind, because you're trying to be polite, but in my mind, it was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You don't want to give me a prescription for a natural remedy, but yet you want to give me this super toxic, addictive drug? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Right? So I was like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And now, ever since when they say, "Oh, do you want to go talk to the palliative care doctor?" I'm like, no, no, no. However, one of my friends from Cancer Group, her cousin works at the dispensary. So she gets all of us gummies. So I can't do them during the week because I have to get up to go to work, and I have a low tolerance for stuff. I get drunk real quick now. and I could get high really quick. So I have to take like each gummy is 10 milligrams, and I have to take 2.5. Anything more than that, I'll be high for a while. Um, so yeah, so you know, right now I take that, but I gotta ask Joey. It's like if I could take those sweet peas and see if they help with a little bit of the anxiety too, because they might work for humans the same way they work for dogs. Oh, there it is. $5 sweet pea. There you go. Thanks, Selena. Yep. So Ramon, what's going on? We did some readings, so if you want a reading, Ramon, let us know. We're doing tarot, or we're doing the Moonology cards. Uh, we're trying to just kind of get this going. You are a lightweight. Yeah, yeah, Layla, I am. Listen, when I was younger, oh my God, when I was in high school, I'm old, so you they don't have these on TV. But when I was a teenager, they used to have this show on Channel 7 in New York called The After School Special. And it was always like this little story thing. And it was to teach you about lessons and life lessons, right? Um, and I could have been an after school specials kid because man, I used to have liquor in my locker and I used to drink during classes, in between classes. And on the weekends, I used to go to my friend's house and we used to play Dungeons and Dragons, right? Bobby Dungeons and Dragons. But we used to get high. And I used to love mescaline as a kid. Oh my God. I loved doing mescaline and mushrooms. And we used to get high and play Dungeons and Dragons. We used to have the best time, right? Oh, look, okay. So we're kind of the same age. Yeah. So you remember that stuff. Okay, they have to see, you remember. But I was one of those kids. And then, in my 20s, going to the bars and hanging out and being around people. Yeah. But then as I got older, we're all the same age. Look at that. Cool. Um, this is the elders room tonight, huh? This is a special room just for the elders. We're not all we're elders. We have wisdom. Um, but yeah, and then I think I was telling the story to somebody. Oh, because I think Bobby says he used to read cards at a bar or something. I think it was Bobby. And I never used to read cards at a bar because one, bars are dirty, your cards get fucked up, right? But I used to read palms. I used to read palms at a bar. So I would meet somebody and we chit chat, and we somehow the conversation always got around to it. And it's like, yeah, I said, I'll read your palm, just buy me a drink. So you gotta understand in New York now. I don't know if there's anybody in the room from New York area, but now drinks at a bar are about $15 to $20 a pop. So when I used to go before, they were $10, which was a lot of money. Still $10 for one drink, right? Because they're small and they're all ice. Two sips and they're gone. So I used to tell people like, "Hey, yeah, I read your palm," and I read their palm, and they would buy me drinks. Um, and then there were some people that was like really blown away by my reading, and they bought me two drinks. And then there were guys who thought I was really sexy, and they bought me three drinks and take me home. So yeah, it's very expensive. Yeah, I stopped once I met my husband. We really stopped going out to clubs and bars because right now the only reason to go to a club and a bar in New York City is if you're looking to get laid. You're looking to pick up someone. That's really the only reason to go because they're not like back in the day. Back in the day, you could really hang out, socialize. That's where the only place you met other gay people was at a bar because there wasn't anything else. Um, where now, there's other things where you can go and meet other gay people. You can meet gay people online, whatever. So, my husband and I were like, we don't need to go to a gay bar. that just creates problems, because you always get that one or two assholes that wants to come in and, you know, interfere in your relationship. We don't need that. Oh, okay. Somebody never had to buy her own drinks either. You slut, you. I love you. I love you, you slut. She's like, uh-huh. She's like, nope. You know who I bet would never have to buy a drink either? Because she's freaking gorgeous? Selena. My God, Selena, you are gorgeous. I could just see you going into a bar and having all these guys just go crazy over you, you know? And Mr. Bobby. Fatima, do you drink? You're in Canada, those stores are everywhere. See? Very busy, don't have time to scratch my ass. Ramon's always busy. Ramon, you're like you're, I could just see, I, how can I put this? Ramon is like my husband, and I have a feeling that I'm more like his husband, right? More quiet, laid back, whatever. My husband is always doing 20 projects at once. He's always doing 20 projects at once. He's working on his artwork. He's working on this event. He's decorating the table for a party. He's doing this. He's doing that. He's on the computer making stuff on the internet. I mean, yeah, Ramon, you're just like Hector. You guys are always doing like a million things all at once. I could just imagine how crazy you are. Not crazy, but how crazy busy you are. That you don't have time to scratch your ass? Move your balls. Ah, see? She bought them. There you go. Good. I'm glad. I'm telling you, they're really cool. I think Darla's gonna love them. I think Darla's gonna love them. Okay. Fatima drinks occasionally. I would love to get drunk with Fatima. I bet you Fatima's a pisser. I bet you are a pisser. I know your brother's freaking crazy, so I can just imagine you, especially with a few little shots in you. Man. No. Fatima, we'd have to get you drunk. With us, you're safe. With us, you can get drunk. Yes, old fashions. Yes, I love old fashions. See, look, I've never had to buy a drink. See, I knew Selena never had to buy a drink. Telling you, I could tell. Let me see something. Oh no, you put them away. Oh, hold on, guys. Let me see something. So this is a piece my husband just did. They're beautiful. So he does 3D wood art. See that? So each piece is individually cut by hand. He doesn't use any kind of machinery. So it's three-dimensional. So all these little pieces are cut, and then some of them he puts these crystals one by hand. Aren't they beautiful? And then they're individually signed. And because they're handmade, there's never two. He did, yeah, Selena, he did try to run the raffle, but he wasn't getting enough responses, so he canceled and refunded people their money. But this was one of those pieces. And then I wish Bobby was here because Bobby would love this one. So we went to Bronx Pride 2 weeks ago, and so he made these t-shirts, right? But you see these bears? These bears are actually bears that he did on wood art. So what he did was he took his wood art images, and he put them on fabric. So he actually made these gay bears on wood art that he would sell at Pride, or he would selling and on other things. Yeah, he's so talented. He's very, very talented. He's very talented. He's like Ramon. Whatever he touches, gold. You know, gold. Yeah, but he's good. You know. Yeah, yeah. And I'll get you guys the link because so my husband, there's an art gallery in Vegas, and they've approached my husband in the past, and what he does is he doesn't do it on commission. He actually sells the pieces to the art gallery, and then they resell it. And usually their markup is he sells it for what he sells it here. Like, this is my art. This is how much it goes for. They just buy it straight out, and then they have permission to resell it, and they'll resell it for usually three times what they paid for, right? And he only makes that piece for the gallery, so it's not like you're paying three times for something in the gallery, but then somebody else bought the same exact thing for a third of the price. No, he specifically made for the gallery. So when I'll get you guys the link one day so you could see he's made some beautiful pieces for this gallery in Vegas, and they love it because every piece that they bought from him sold quickly. It goes quickly, so they're making a great profit off it. And so he took a break from doing the gallery for a while because he was just focusing on local artisan stuff here. And but now they just reached out to him. He's like, "Sure, winter's coming. There's going to be less fair, so I'll just make some and send them to you." Yeah, Selena, he's super talented. And what's happening is he, like I said, he belongs to this. It's the only or, original Puerto Rican Artisans Association that he belongs to, called PRIDA, and he's one of the board members now. And so the director was here and her family. They came over the other day for lunch. We're all hanging out. And what's going to happen is PRIDA is looking to expand. So they might. One of the things that they're going to look at is they might not consolidate because they're not going to lose their identity, but they're going to connect, I guess, with another artisans museum in Chicago, so that this way they can become affiliates of each other, and then some of the New York artisans can go to Chicago. Some of the Chicago artists can come here to share their works and do their work. And the group that the PRIDA New York, they're going to go out and help build the Puerto Rican Artisan Association in Chicago. So they're going to try to find artists who actually live there, help them organize, help them get together, help them sponsor some events, and kind of build that cultural community there. So they're growing. They're really growing and going places. Hey, Bobby, did you see the T-shirts with the bears that I just showed them? Oh yeah, Bobby. Yeah, so I don't know, Bobby, are you close to Vegas at all? Because the whatchamacallit, the art gallery in is real close to Las Vegas. It's actually in Las Vegas. I don't know if where you are, it's close to that. But it'd be good for you to go check it out. Even you don't have to buy nothing. Just go for a day trip, take a picture, send it back. That'll make them happy. So listen, guys, it's almost 9 o'clock. I can't believe I've been on for an hour and a half. This, like I said, this was a pop up. I really love sharing space with you guys. You don't know, you guys are some of my. I know it's virtual and whatever, but and I know that usually you don't get to know me in this persona, whatever. You get to know me as the other one, but both of us love you guys so much. Love you so much. I'm glad, we've all gotten into each other's lives and gotten close. And, you guys are amazing. Yeah. And maybe this is a good direction for me. Maybe this is a good direction. Maybe I should do more of these. I still want to do the other one with you, Selena, because we have to do the one on glamour. Totally want to do glamour magic. I think that's very, very important topic. And today I was thinking about another topic. I don't think, Selena, you and I never did a live together, a collab, have we? Maybe, and if we have, forgive me. My brain doesn't work so good anymore. The magic one. Oh, okay. I know what. No, not oil, Selena. No. Okay. And I love you for this. Yeah, I love you for this because you planted a seed in me, and it's growing. I don't want to do oils with you. I want to do sigils. I want to do sigils. I've been reading more and more about them and how to create them. Um, and I found like the one that you taught me how to do, right? And then I found another one that's got like the numbers and the letters. And then after you transcribe the letters into the numbers, there's a box of numbers, and then you can actually do it like that. Um, and but what I was thinking was because when I was watching the video, and I got to send you the link of the person. Um, I think she goes by the brunette witch or something like that. She's really cool. I actually liked her style and whatever. Uh, but she did it on paper, right? And what I was thinking was we could do an instructional video on what is it? DIY, do it yourself, DIY, whatever that is. And you take I don't know if you've ever seen this, you take a regular picture frame, right? And you get them from the dollar store, and you take that photo paper that's in there out, and you could just put a blank piece of paper in it and put the glass, and then with erasable markers like you would use on a whiteboard, you can draw on it and then wipe it clean. So basically what we would do is the numbers with the letter thing, right? We would put it in the glass, and then we can trace the sigils on that, right? And then make them, and then we can wipe that one off and do the next one instead of using paper, paper, paper. Yes, there's a witch's wheel. Yep, I saw that one too, Bobby. DUI, yeah. So I thought it was like cute, like because when I saw her doing it on paper, it was like, oh, it's a lot of paper we're wasting. I hate having clutter in paper. I'm kind of OCD on that. So I was like, we could just, it could be cute. Like we could do a DIY, like instructional thing, and at the same time we show people how to make sigils. But yeah, I still got to learn more and read up more and practice them. But you're the one who planted that seed in my head, and I love it. And the reason how that came up, guys, is that I'll show you some other day. Let me see if I have a picture of it on my phone. When I went to Dominican Republic at the resort, they had an activity where you can make ceramics. Okay, I do have it. And people, they were making like basic little stuff, but I'm always gotta be different. So I made a bowl. I wanted to make an incense bowl. So I made an incense, and then what I did was around it, I made Taino symbols. So let me see if I can show you guys. You see that? Isn't that cool? I think it's cool. Okay, let me see. I don't know if you could see it. So in the middle, it's got like a little cone shape with a hole. So the incense stick actually fits in there, and then it burns, and all the ashes go down. And I in my mind, I wanted to make this because I got tired of ashes falling all over the table. And this is a good way to collect your ashes so that when you need ashes for other ritual works, it's all in a bowl. But we're going back in August for our anniversary, and I'm sure if they do the ceramics again, I want to do it. But I was telling Selena, I want to put, I want to create sigils to put around it. So I want to put like health, protection, health, joy, maybe, and then there was something else. Like I want to have 3 words or 3 sigils, uh, to north, south, east, and west. I don't want to just use directionals, and I don't want to use elements. That's kind of basic. I want to make sigils to represent like protection, health, prosperity, and maybe something else to put on the bowl. All right, Layla, nice. Thank you for hanging out with us. I'm going to be heading out myself too in about 2 minutes. Um, Richie's best friend. Thanks for showing up. I feel bad. We're about to leave. I've been on for like almost over an hour and a half. I'm kind of getting tired. Uh, but yeah, but I want to thank you guys. I appreciate you all hanging out with me, and maybe I'll do some more lives. Let's chat offline to see what you guys think. And like I said, welcome to Urban Forest, okay, where we bring the magic of nature into the city. All right, guys. Peace, blessings, and light.